any definitive resolution to inviting more people. If I think that some people sort of like voice an opinion of I'm okay, but that there wasn't a definitive nay, yay. And for me, I think I have a hard time making a choice if I don't even know who's coming. It's kind of like who's coming to dinner, kind of like that movie with Sidney Portier. So, you know, I think that for one, would like to know more who it's the people who are on the guest list. And two, are we talking about one more person, two more people, three more people? And I think Marvin said this last time, and maybe someone else's echo it. Even if it's one more person, it changes the dynamic. And what is the number that we want to get to? Like right now, we have what? Maybe 14 people total, 15. If we all show up, it's the number that we're looking to get 20. Is the number 18? Is the number 16? Do we just want to add one person who's really is interested in and have been wanting to come in? So I have a lot of kind of like apprehension about making a decision for or against it without getting more information. So I don't know if you can speak on that, Lynn.
Well, I think what we said, I think what you suggested is that it would be all of us who would think of who we would want to invite. Doesn't have to be people we know personally. It could be someone in the community that you would like. But it's not like we're gonna find the cutest one and bring them, adopt them into the family. It's more like this group is a group that is learning to be in the world in a focusing way to make an impact, to ripple out. And so inviting new people are people that would be able to use this in a way that we would want. So I think, somebody who really just wants a support group might not be, I think we had said 3 new people, but if we only have 3 slots, let's think together about it. And maybe can you text me or Isabel or Yoker or Susan, text us what you're thinking of, but we can't think of it in advance without people's input. So let's put that off till next time, because we have the big subject of projects. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, and yet if each one of us had a person in mind, right, that
No,
would be an additional 13 people if each
Right.
one of us have one person in mind.
Right.
And what I'm saying is, I feel that there's a need to not have like a criteria, that's the wrong word, but a sense of what is it that we're looking for, right? To invite in, because even inviting in my circle of people, there's thousands of people maybe, and not exaggerating, that I can say, you want to come to this? But what is it that what are we looking for? Because I think Marvin have brought something up last time, and I know that we want to get to other pieces. My fear right now is that if we don't get to this, come September, we'll be struggling in this spot again, not knowing whether we're ready to invite more people in or not. And I really appreciated the distinction you made today about this is not a support group, and the intention is to take this work hour and spread it.
Mhm.
And so I guess one thing probably is that an invitee would have to be ready to take that on, right? So I don't know if I'm
Yes,
making
well,
sense.
yeah, that's my idea. And the other idea is that somebody that will enhance the group or fit in with the group or be okay with such a strong group. But I think that we need to do some focusing on that of what our criteria is and have a discussion of it. And we can try to get to it before the end tonight. But I don't think we should have that now because the projects are even sooner than the inviting new people. But we definitely will make a decision about it by June 5th.
How about if everybody shared one quality that they thought was important for
Yeah,
somebody
that's
who's
what
going
I'm
to join?
thinking. But I'm thinking that should come later after we talk about the projects.
Okay.
Because talking about the projects is sort of getting us in the spirit of, what are we learning? What do we want to learn? What do we want to experience? What's exciting to us? We're not doing it for other people. We're doing it because it's exciting to participate. And we will all do it in different ways. Isabel, are you okay with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I just don't want, I feel like that is such an important piece. First of all, I really do feel like I don't know that we have made our commitment or over commitment around inviting people. I think people heard that, but I didn't hear anyone be like celebratory about let's invite more people. So I don't even know that we are there in that space right now. I know I don't have a person to invite.
Yeah, well, we'll come back to that and really focus on it. But Isabel, maybe you could tell us about the project that you've done and play us the video and talk
Okay.
a bit about how we might share that. But before Isabel does that, I didn't mean to cut off the conversation. Anybody have anything just to mark here and knowing that we'll come back to it?
Well, I'm always wondering what for me is a central question, which we don't make explicit, and that is what's our aim? We're not a support group. That's clear.
Well, I
And
think
we are not a class.
we've tried to articulate that, Marvin, but I think that it will take more to really, I'm thinking on June 5th, when we're talking about what we learned and where we're going, that would be a good time. And I think it would be good to write these things down so that we can refer to them. We're not a support group. We're not a class. We're a movement of some kind. We're an experiment. We're a learning community. It looked like Kate had something to say, but then she disappeared. Okay, Isabel, I think we're ready for you.
Kate is there, but I just opened our website And I'm just gonna put the link here so people can go back, but I don't know. I think that we sort of like been down this road in the
Yeah,
past
let's
as to
not
what
do that right
what
now.
it is.
We'll go
Um,
off, right? We'll go off into that conversation, which we're not really ready for right now.
I'm putting the website. I'm doing something that I noticed that I hate when other people do it. But I'm putting it in. It's our website, which the initial thing is welcome, and it tells about the group and what is it. And maybe we need to revisit that as a whole. Maybe that's a project that we can undertake. What is the vision and mission of this, and how can we articulate that for someone who's not here? Like for someone who's not here and sees that page.
Right.
So I would want to put that on the um, agenda or whenever we get back together, whether it's 9/11 or now or something that people work on over the summer.
No, we'll do it. We'll do it. If everybody wants to, we'll do it next week. We'll just do the projects this week, and we'll do the who we want and if we want next week. That would be my thought.
Yeah, I also think that that question is really connected to what
Yeah.
have we been up to, where do we want to go,
Right.
what, yeah,
exactly.
like maybe first, what did we want to, and did we get there, and or maybe want to change a little bit, and so
Right.
yeah, and what do we want to do, and then like who do we think can help us with that, or can join us in that, or something like that. Yeah.
I look at all of you, and I'm not sure people are with me in this moment about talking about the projects, because there's too much uncertainty. You haven't gotten into the group yet. Lynn is bossing you around.
Maybe we have to do an attunement or something.
Would you do that for us, Yoka?
Oh, see, I knew it. Okay. So, yeah, just a short attunement, just for everyone to get here, like to still, arrive in this room together. And also, not just looking at one another, but maybe also just right now, close your eyes and just, find a place in yourself to kind of get here, get yourself here. So, yeah, so you take a deep breath. And you just make yourself comfortable in your chair and feel the support of your chair, like in your back and on your seat. And you feel your feet touching the floor, being in contact with the floor and the earth and the gravity that kind of holds you, and you can just let go of holding yourself. And yeah, just go with your attention inside. And take another breath. And just take a little time there, just hang out. And maybe get a sense of what you're up to, what's very present for you right now. And what you want to contribute to the group tonight. And then when you're ready, just open your eyes and look around the other people in the room. And I hope everyone arrived.
Your faces look very different now. Thank you. Okay, Isabel, you want to give us a little introduction to the little piece that you're going to play for us and some ideas you have about how we can help.
So what's alive for me in this moment is a curiosity about how people are after the attunement. It really felt like for me to go to the next thing was bypassing what came up for some people. Like I'm feeling more settled than I was, and thank you for that. Yep. So I'm curious if anyone else want to share how they are now compared to what you say, Lynn. And Lynn, I'm so sorry that it feels for you that we're not with you. I think I'm not with them moving so quickly today. That's what I'm not with.
Yes, I think it's my intention to be with the group, but also I'm feeling we only have 4 more sessions.
I think Susan said something, but Susan, you were muted.
It felt like the attunement brought us together some. That felt good.
What I was trying to say was that I had felt impatient and scattered, I think, and I feel much more, I don't know, I can see everybody, which I couldn't before. And I'm really eager, Isabel, to see and hear what you're going to present. You're going to show us.
And then I'm not sure if you were leaning in to say something. In my body, it felt like you were coming in to say something.
Did you say my name?
Mhm.
Oh, oh, I was just not really, but I went swimming this afternoon, so I arrived grounded, and I was just thinking, oh, when it's so helpful to ground right away because everyone's arriving different ways, and we can kind of arrive and start together.
Yes, exactly. It was such a good suggestion to have that attunement. I feel much more relaxed. I think I was coming with a kind of let's get started, energy, and the attunement to release that and say, oh no, it's organic.
I don't know if anyone else wants to say something. Otherwise, I'll say something about what sort of like my project, my own, what is that word? Like you don't set out to do something, but it unfolds in that way. So I'll pause here. If anybody wants to add some, like add anything.
I wish Roberto was here already. So he could hear it. But
It will be recorded.
yeah, that's true.
Mm.
Is he coming?
Yeah, he's just late.
Good.
So I don't know what the word is for this, whether it is it fell on my lap or necessity is the mother of invention. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. But as many of you heard, as a family, we are experiencing a major crisis. My grandson was in a car accident, and a young person died and another person was injured, and he has been detained since then, which is the beginning of March, in a prison in Newark, New Jersey. And New Jersey does not offer bail as a mechanism for people to wait outside while they go to trial or whatever else. So he's been there. And this came and I think that one of the value that this group offers for me is that one of the underpinnings or efforts of this group has, at least how Lynn always says it, is to be able to talk to other people in challenging time and still be able to hear them and and have that sort of like aspect of revolutionary listening. And so I didn't know how to support the mother, my son, my daughter, the grandparents on the other side, the friends, and I just say, wow, what about if we just create? I open up a room at 9 o'clock, and for 15 minutes, people can come in. And this was at the very beginning when he was arrested. People can come in and just share how they feeling, what's going on. And so it's very organic. And we started with 15 minutes, and we are now at an hour every single day. It's very organically has evolved into sort of like a place where people can come, pray, share something of their own life or something that's going on with them, share other resources, or talk about anything. So it's kind of like, and it's not driven by anyone. It's not, no one is in charge of it. Anyone can share anything. And some of his friends who are younger, he's 19, have been coming in and out. And a couple of weeks back, one of the friends actually shared that he really feels that this is a source of support for him, not just around what's happening with my grandson, but in general. And I don't have the video here, I'm gonna have to go off. But the video came, so we record every night as a way to have sort of like a, the word that's coming is legacy. I don't know why that word is coming, but that's the word that's showing up. So whenever it is that my grandson is able to hear this, he can have a archive of how people show up for him and how people have been there for him every day. People who don't know him come because they know somebody in the group of whatever. And so every day that it gets recorded, and I then transfer this to a hard drive. And you know, that the second part of it that has been coming for me is, can this group, can we, the collective, we here, do something for this other group? Whether it is teaching a one-shot deal or focusing, bringing something that someone feels that can be helpful to deal with the dysregulation, with the sadness, with the grief, maybe being a listening partner if someone chooses to. So my mind and Lynn came one time, and you know, the group ranges in anywhere from, one day there's maybe 10 people, another day there's 20, another day there's 25. So it's always kind of fluctuates. And I am telling you, for myself, and I'm getting a bit emotional because for myself, every day at 9 o'clock, it's a way in which we are sort of like in communion, which is community, in communion not only with ourselves, but also with my grandson who knows that we're doing this. And I think they have to lock in. If they out, they have to lock in. I think it's at 8:45. So he knows that at 9 o'clock we're coming together, even though he cannot physically join that. And so sometimes it's bittersweet. And sometimes people share like a passage from the Bible, other times people share like a poem that someone gave them. And sometimes people are just angry with the system. Sometimes, you know, a couple of nights ago, I could barely speak because I was overwhelmed by emotion. And then one of the people, they are, you know, they type in, they like, oh, take it easy, you know. So there's this kind of like organic evolution of supporting and compassion for all of us. So that's sort of like the cross-pollination that I was thinking of. How can we here collectively do something with that group? And I don't know what that would look like. Like I was thinking maybe it's a listening session where, you know, we can show up and people can, I don't know. I don't have it. Like I don't have a grip on what. And so I really wanted to bring this to this group and see if anyone will be wanting to take this on. One of the things that we have talked about, Lynn and Yoka and Susan and I, is the differences, right? Because that's sort of like the elephant in the room. And Lynn very appropriately so named, what would it be like for a white person to just show up to this group of people and say, oh, let me teach you something, right? So yeah, so that's the thing. So that's where I'm at. That's really where I'm at. And I cannot tell you, there is no words that can describe it. I don't know if you notice that my voice is shifted. Something happens to my body when I'm talking about this. I've been in and out of illness, and I think it's a bodily reaction to the sadness and to the pain. And you know, we never expected this. Of all the things that we expected from this kid, this wasn't one of them. And unfortunately, the law is very, very strict in New Jersey around what is the language they use? Vehicular homicide is the language they use. They're very strict around that. More strict around that than if someone takes a gun and kills somebody.
Oh, my.
Which is incomprehensible to me. But this is the kind of, you know, so that's the piece. I have mixed feelings about sharing the video because of my own vulnerability there. But I'll get in, I'll share a little snippet of it, either today or some other time, but I just wanted to put that out. And this is not a request, it's an invitation. And invitations can be declined. You know, or maybe someone can think of something else. Like I thought maybe someone can go and Lynn very graciously, because Lynn wants to do everything, say she will come and teach focusing and interpret that with Brother David, kind of like religious pieces, which I thought was beautiful. But I don't know, like maybe even what you have shared, Annette. But I don't also want it to be like a pouring out of someone teaching something and people just receiving, right? So it's a fine line there. So I'm open to suggestion. I think it'll be a great project. It would take us out of our little tiles and into somebody else's community. The demographic of the people that come, it's varied. That's a group of us who are directly related to my grandson, grandparents, sister, girlfriend, uncle. And then there's another group of people that are friends directly of him, so more at his age level. Then there's people that come because, let's say, one person may come because they know me, another person comes because they know the mother. It's a combination of Latinx people and African American or people from the African diaspora. There's some people who have had experiences with the criminal justice system and some who haven't. I think the education level ranges from someone who barely knows how to read or write to someone like me who has a master's degree and other people who have master's degree also. And so you have a very eclectic group of people who are coming together for the same reason. In terms of the religious background, people, we keep saying every day, we say this is a non-denominational. So people are both practicing of maybe the Yoruba tradition, other people are practicing Catholics, other people are practicing non-denominational or Baptist. And so that's all that. But the beautiful thing, like I say, is that everyone comes together at 9 o'clock every day. This is every day. And people come, they stop whatever they're doing and they come and they join and it's very organic. There's usually an update on how his mood is for the day, whether he's joyful or not. And then there's a kind of like an update on where we are in terms of the legal process. And then some people share, you know, about their own life and their own experience. And sometimes people just are quietly listening to maybe someone else sharing a prayer. So that's kind of like in a nutshell how it is. And, you know, I'll be more than happy to chat it up with someone outside of this group if you have any idea and it feels like, oh my God, I don't want to bring this into the group and you want to talk to me alone. I'm open to that as well. And I just want to say deep bows of gratitude just for listening.
Isabel, deep gratitude for you being willing to share this passionate and vulnerable moment with us. And I wanted to remind you that we had also said that it would be wonderful if people who wanted to would come to the meeting, not at first to teach, but to just be there with people, so that then if you do offer something, you're not just this person from the outside that your face is familiar to them. And of course, your connection to Isabel will be obvious.
Thank you.
So Isabel, could you send us, or I mean, if we want to go to the meeting, is there a link or?
There's a link. I'll share it with the community.
Thank you.
I'll send it to the whole all of you. And like I say, sometimes it's a whole hour, an hour and a half. Sometimes, you
Wow.
know, people just stay for 20 minutes and people can come and go as they please. That's the other thing. No one is called to stay the entire time. No one is called to speak unless they feel like doing so. So that there are moments of silence, and that is very interesting because there are moments of silence where everybody just holding the silence, like naturally and organically.
Mm.
Yeah,
Is this online?
it's online. Yeah.
Oh, I was imagining it of having to drive to New York in order to be a part of it. Okay.
No, it's online. Because, you know, I think that's one of the things that we have to be grateful for COVID, that it created the opportunity for people to come together across oceans, river, places, time zone. And if nothing else, I think that that's one of the really positive things that has come from that.
Yes.
So
I'm
Yeah.
ready to see the video if you're ready, Isabel.
I have to go up and grab it and cue it. So I know, Annette, you wanted to ask me something. I don't know. I think I saw your hand.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I have an African American trainee. So if you felt for your group, it would be better for someone to come in that was representing them. I don't have the right words. I'm stumbling on the words. But you know, I think you get my essence. I would be happy to talk to him and see if he'd be interested.
Maybe
Mhm.
I'm with you.
Yeah, he could come with me.
Yeah.
But I'm
And
happy for
again,
babies to fly.
yeah. And you know, I really want to stress that this is an opportunity for us, the us here,
Mhm.
to come out. And by coming out, it's a metaphorical coming out of this tiles and venture into other community. Because I think that that's one of the efforts of this group, that we eventually one day would, you know, fly the coop and do all the things. So yeah. But thanks for listening. I will really have to go upstairs, get my hard drive, which I thought was here, but it's not, and then queue it. So can I not feel the pressure of having to do that? I don't want to leave there. I don't want to leave the group right now. I really don't. And
Well, why don't we have a little bit of discussion and then we'll have, a couple of minutes break and, you'll come when you're ready because it will open up a lot of stuff.
And
I'd be interested in how people feel about what Isabel has said and
mhm.
meets at 9 o'clock every night. I found it so engaging and organic and spontaneous, and people really supporting each other with the heartbreak of a child being lost or endangered.
Isabel. Oh, go ahead, Nancy.
I was just going to ask if you would send us the information and the link. So I guess I'm hearing that we could just come and be there and offer support just
Yeah.
with our presence.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm imagining what it might be like for them to have us with our white faces come. Do they know about us or they know that you are?
They know I'm having an affair with you, Susan.
That's what I was thinking.
What was that? What did you say?
I say they know I'm having an affair with you.
Ah, oh, I didn't want you to tell them.
Family that you.
Um, yeah, you know, I'm fortunate enough, and some people in my circles have come, and you know, that's no, it's really come as you are. Some people come and they never come off camera. You don't know who they are. They never come off camera. Other people have come off camera. It's a very come as you are.
Okay.
People are just really showing up just as they are.
I mean,
You
they
know,
would not feel like, oh, who are these people busting into our community?
I don't know. You know, I can't speak for them,
Mhm.
but I can speak for when someone else has shown up. Usually if somebody shows up that it's so organically, people, if somebody comes that's new, a person will say, oh, so and so it's here because I invited them. So that's
Right.
kind of become
Yeah.
has become the way to do things. um you know, um can I just share, since I'm here, and Lynn, this is not a support group, but there is support that is offered here. And I think you guys were already, some of you may have this, but his sister was shot about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, by an ex-boyfriend. She was working, I shared this with you guys, maybe not this entire group. She does hair, and she was doing hair, and the guy came in, he had a gun, put the gun to her head, shot, and she quickly moved and shot her in the shoulder. So this mother had these two children, and what a tragedy it is for her. And you know, Nancy, I gotta say, when you spoke about your grandchildren and the tragedy that has befallen them over there, I was besides myself, and I felt that I didn't have the language to tell you how your share impacted me. And this is one of those things that this group has been doing for me. It is not a support group, but there is support that emerges naturally from being here. And I just want to sort of like say that. And I want to say that with gratitude and appreciation.
It's
Yeah.
it's sort of as we learn to communicate with our differences with one another, it is just automatic that we end up supporting one another. I mean, we're human beings. So there's support within the group as we're learning and sharing with one another and learning from one another. Yeah.
Or maybe we shouldn't say we're not a support group, but we should say we're a support group that doesn't just support each other. You know, we're a support
Yeah.
group that supports other people and finds ways that we want to, not that we are obligated to, but that we want to support other people.
And the communicating over differences is, well, can be a support, not beating the other person down or collapsing.
And being able to speak of issues, being listened to, listening to one another and our issues is a big piece of what the group is about, it seems. Talking about the issues that we do and don't agree on. And learning to do that in agreeable ways. Even if we don't agree.
For me, it's your situation is very moving example of how I would wish the world operated. That is, after tragedies, people could come together, whether it was their family or, as you say, an expanded family of extended connections. That's very touching, and it's a real credit to you, Isabel, that you've pulled this together and it's expanded. You've involved so many people in your family. Uh, it's a wonderful example of how, as I say, I would love it to be in the world.
And you've brought the young people in, his friends, who are learning now about peaceful ways of reaching out to one another and supporting one another. That's huge. The old and the young, the different generations. It's quite wonderful.
I do a little thing that's not nearly as emotional and moving as you do, because since the pandemic, my family, I get together with my family in Japan and England and Kosovo and here every week. And we get together, whoever can get together gets together, and sometimes other people participate. But there's a little element there that is lacking, and that is sometimes people are afraid to say something about their own troubling situation. And it seems like you really have surmounted that. I wish you would be able to say something about that process. That is, initially what brought you together was grief about your grandson. But it seems like the process is extended beyond that.
I think that it's hard to put into words because it's been happening so organically. You know, uh, I referring back to the web page for us, one of the things that's there is deep listening. And I think that people feel listened to. Like, because, you know, even when people are not actually saying something, maybe just saying in the chat, I hear you, don't feel that way. Again, people are at different level of comfort. And the other thing is, I think for me what sticks out, it's what this group has always meant to me. It's the piece about diversity. And I'm not just talking diversity in skin color. I'm talking diversity on, like I shared just now. I mean, I don't think we could have put all these people together in a room intentionally. It is intentional, but like, I don't think if we had went out to collect people, we wouldn't have collected people in that way. So I don't know. I think that organically, like someone the other day shared something about just in general, like something about challenges with their job and you know and challenges with having to take the train and deal with that, and that was okay, right? So I don't know. I don't know that it's I don't think it's formulaic, if that's the correct word. It's not a formula. It's really organically just have come to be in whatever way, you know. So yeah.
But you guided that with your love and caring.
Yeah, but I don't think it's just me. I think it's part of what Marvin say. I think that, if I turn towards the teachings of the Buddha, all of us have a Buddha nature in ourselves. And it's unfortunate that it only sometimes comes to be revealed in moments of crisis. There's actually a passage in the Bible about that. Um, you know, but but that this particular group, the crescendo can be when, oh, he had a bad day and everybody's having a bad day with him in the group, right? And it's not that he had a bad day, like him personally, but like the facility is locked down, which is another thing that has really, you know, um, tug at my heart. I called the social worker there and I was able to talk with her, believe it or not. And this woman is so overwhelmed. She's dealing with like hundreds of people and it's just her. How can you provide mental health services in a situation like that? But anyway, so it's not that he's having a bad day, but the facility is understaffed. So they spend 23 hours locked in their cell. It's just like irrational to me that you sort of like innocent until proven guilty, but yeah, um what is that word? Like you are receiving the same treatment. I don't have the word. As if you have
Punished.
been found guilty.
You're
I don't
punished.
understand that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that I dealing with that has been a eye-opening for me. Really eye-opening, and just brought out a level of compassion for, and not a justification for people who commit a crime, but a level of compassion of how the criminal justice system is set up, you know? So anyway, thank you so much. I so appreciate this. You guys don't know. So in the Dominican Republic, we have a thing that we call, I think that everybody has it here, but it's Vicks. When people have a cold, you use Vicks for your throat, for your nose. In the Dominican Republic, no matter what's going on with you, you use Vicks. Vicks is the go-to ointment. And this is how this feels for me today.
Mhm.
No matter what was going on with me today,
That could be the name of our group, VIX.
Fix.
This be a good time for a little break, and Isabel, you can get the, we can,
Isabel,
I can get
thank
it.
you so
Right.
much.
thank you. I'll
We'll
go
be
get
back
that.
in how many minutes? How much of a break do we need?
Maybe 5.
5 minutes sounds good. Okay, so we will come together and at 7:15.
Sounds good.
I don't know if people are back or how long we were going to do it.
I'm back.
I don't know if you're talking to us, Mary. Mary.
I think we come back at 15
Quarter
after.
past. Yep.
It was,
15 after.
Quarter
yeah.
past.
yeah, but I'm glad you're back, and you know, I just everything you've said, it's trickling through my body. I feel like it's so profound, and I find this group profound as well, and I thank you.
Yeah.
It's so good to see you coming out, Mary. I just see this flower opening.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're coming back. You could set up the video.
Yeah. So I found another piece. I want you to really have a sense of what people are holding. And I want to make an invitation. This is from my other work, that you sort of like in whatever way you need to, you connect to the conversation, but also protect your core in whatever way you do that. Because this little piece is a little heavy. Heavy in the sense this is one day when mom was on the phone with him, and one of the CR was CR, I think is now a new language for me, correction something, or CO, I don't know, it's C something. I don't know what the right language is. It's CO, I think. CR is something else. Correction officer, so it's CO. Everything becomes an acronym in there. But I'm gonna play this little bit because it was such a powerful little interaction. My son says a little piece. And let me, can I share, am I able to share? I don't think so.
Yoga, can you, I'll make you host, Isabel.
Okay, got it. I think I can do it now.
Okay,
Yeah, I changed it, yeah.
good.
Okay.
Can you do it? Yeah.
Are you,
It's saying, it looks like it's saying I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Oh,
I made you host. So
Okay,
to do it.
okay. I'm gonna share this piece because it was such a powerful piece to hear her. And then the next day I talk about organizing and galvanizing. And that friend told me today, what you doing there? You're just not doing it for Joseph. You're doing it for every Black body who walks this earth and have encountered themselves in similar circumstances. And then she said, not just Black bodies, but brown bodies, you know, Latino, everybody, all our males who have been incarcerated. We're not just here for Joseph. This is bigger than us, and we may not know as this unfold what it means and what we'll bring forward. But my hope and aspiration is that we will continue to engage with this, maybe not in this way or in this form, but that we will continue to engage this, because as long as there's people suffering, there's need for prayer. So I'll sit back, and if anybody else want to say anything, by all means, come in. This is
Just
my
wanted to say
son.
thank you again to everybody coming in on a Friday night. Obviously, you know, it's the beginning of the weekend. could be doing something else, a little more entertaining, you know, something you really want to do, but you're here with us and really do appreciate that. Joseph appreciates that. Ruthie appreciates that. And it's really helpful. It's beneficial. So thank you for that.
Is there anyone that hasn't been here, that has not been here before, and that today is the first day? I think that we need to start asking that. If there's anyone that is just joining us for the first time, and if they want to kind of like introduce themselves, because I think we have overlooked that some people may not have come at the beginning since we started. So, you know, we'll integrate that as well. But, and stepping back, Ruthie, does it feel like you want to and are able to give an update? Ruthie is his
And
mother.
maybe
Maybe share a little bit about what is it about today that is weighing so heavy in your heart?
So Joseph kind of was today was a very emotional day for him, a very heavy day for him, a very questioning day for him, a very sorry day for him. I mean, since 6 o'clock in the morning, he's been calling and it's just been difficult. Like, I was on the phone with him and he said, excuse me, ma'am, to the court officer or correction officer or whatever. And she just went off on him. Like, it was just devastating to me because I've raised my son to always be respectful to everyone. As well as his father, as well as everybody surrounding him. And she just went off on him. And I was just like, it was a little like, just like, what the heck? Like, so it kind of caught Joseph off guard and he kind of like almost went like head to head. And I kind of like had to scream at him, which I didn't want to, but I had to because I'd rather him draw the attention on me and argue with me than to get in trouble in there. So I kind of like took the hit so that he don't have to take the hit in there with whoever it was. So basically, they was on shutdown or whatever the case may be. They were supposed to come around, I guess, to charge the tablets. And he said,
So I'm gonna just stop the sharing there. But I just wanted you to hear what that group holds and how much everyone is holding. And after that, the kind of support that this mother received from everyone there was just so beautiful, you know, because in the one hand, what she's saying is that she's become the buffer between him and whoever else is there, right? And so that she'd rather receive his anger, his frustration. And so, I mean, and not every group is as emotionally charged. Some groups are celebratory, but I just want you to have kind of like an embodied experience of what this everyone is holding there. And no one there is, you know, trained and people are just doing what they can and, you know, just truly a community driven resourcing. And so, yeah, so I'll just share that little piece, and another time, another day, in another moment, I will share a more, what is that, celebratory thing. But I just really wanted you to hear, even in people's voices, even if they're not showing their faces, their angst and what they holding and how the collective is pulling together, right? To uplift. And so then someone comes in after this and say, you know, don't worry, he's gonna be okay. And somebody else taps and in the chat, or somebody else says, I have a prayer that is gonna help you right now. It's very eclectic and very organic. So you just don't know what's gonna happen or how it's gonna be. And yes, there are moments where, you know, there's a lot of rage and anger in the room, and it's you just sit there with that. So yeah. So thank you for holding that.
Is it not,
us.
would it seem, does it seem too vulnerable to play us just a couple of minutes of what you said? You became so impassioned, and it was really, seeing that was like a process of seeing community empowerment.
Yeah. So
be-
I will find that one and we can do something else, but that one was in response. So someone at some point had say, oh, you have to pray much more than what you've been praying. And to me, it felt kind of like accusatory. It felt kind of like, and so this is what I'm saying, because no one, no one is sanctioning anyone. People say whatever it's in their heart, but you have to pray more and you have to have more fervor when you pray. And in the moment, I was, you know, but the next day I was like, oh my God, this shouldn't be that, you know. And so I actually was saying to her, you know, you can, and other people kind of like share the same sentiment. So I will have to find that one. We've been doing this since March. So that's a lot of videos because it's every night. And like I say, we started with we started with 15 minutes. Then somebody said, can we go to a half hour? And then somebody say, can we just go to 45 minutes? And then somebody say, can we do the whole hour? And so now we are at an hour. Yeah. So I'll look for that, Lynn, and I'll send it to you so you can play it if I'm not here the next time, which I think I will not be.
What is
Thank-
your grandson's name?
His name is Joseph, and he's 19. And you know, he loves cars, music, motorcycles. And he's the kind of kid that he could hear a car and tell you the model and the year. You know, and you know, and so that's that's a little bit about that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the.
We're open to any thoughts, comments, anything that comes from you.
And I'm open to hearing how was that for you, just that little sliver to, I mean, because this woman is like, I don't know, but she's a mama bear in this moment, you know? Even in the phone, she's like, can you imagine this? She's like, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Forget them. Turn your attention towards me, right? And I don't know that I'll be able to do that in that moment of crisis, which is what I think it's what you're talking about here. That is, for me, an embodiment of the revolutionary listening, in the way that she is really listening intently to him, to be able to shift his attention away from that, right? And there's so much power in that. And I wish I could listen in that way sometimes. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, it's just so powerful, Isabel, to hear their voices and to hear the voice of your son as well. Yeah. The mother's voice, I could totally identify with her. And, you know, and then it gets very, you know, just imagining, I don't know, just imagining how daughter being in jail or something, you know, like imagine child being
Mm.
in jail. Like it's like, oh my God. Yeah.
Experience the pain of the mother, the listening to
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then but yeah, I can imagine that she can then share that with the group. It's just so that's life-saving, I think, if people can, you know, so they don't have to be alone with that. I mean, that would be kind of impossible to carry that all alone. So, yeah. And also I noticed, like you're saying, it's like very organically, and everybody plays, you know, everybody contributes to what the group became. But I also noticed that you came in a few times with some very kind of soft kind of guidelines, or a little put something in there. And yeah, that's really important and so valuable and helpful to the group as well.
Roberto, I'm so glad that you came in time to listen to Isabel. for a while.
Oh, yes, yeah, very much so. You know, I was thinking, you know, the woman who spoke on the video, uh, uh, she was speaking as if she was nothing to lose. I mean, I felt that um and then, you know, Isabel, you were talking about people sharing from their hearts, speaking from their hearts, and it, you know, it's a very, you know, it's a word that is a phrase that is used, you know, but it's so difficult sometimes, you know, or reaching to the heart to speak from the heart, you know, sometimes is very hard, very difficult. It must be so empowering for your grandson to have this, you know, Isabel, you know, you know, just yeah, imagining him being, you know, and incarcerated and then just and able to kind of join a group and express, you know, people express himself, and people also expressing themselves, but so powerful, you know. Um, I think you know, like jails normally are they you know they you know, you don't have a voice, you know what I mean, and you're in jail, and they take away your identity, your voice, you know. Um, and also, you know, I guess I don't want to move away from. I mean, I want to kind of stay with you, Isabel, and you know, you the feelings and and what this means. But I think that for you and you know your family, and but just I mean, I guess we've had a lot of you know, in our group, this identity. I guess on purpose has been our experiment. I guess is not to have identity, to create one, and maybe be in different ones when it's needed. You know, so I mean, I think we can be supportive when it needs to be, we need to be supportive to each other. Will be other things when, hopefully when it's necessary, you know.
And, you know, I really want to stress that the only reason why this was even a possibility for me to in my awareness is because of this group.
Mm.
I want to drive this home to you guys. It is out of this group that emerged for me. The kind of like, oh my God, let's just come together and whoever wants to come can come. Let's just throw the door open and that's it. And no agenda, let's just come and be together here. I don't think that I think that being in this group and hearing Lynn constantly driving that piece about the community empowerment and creating, I think that you often say, I don't know if you say this or this is John Lewis that, and I'm sort of like collapsing the two of you now, but reaching across the aisle. Really, truly, 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 you know, just saying, we have to do something to support each other here. It can't just be one person carrying the load. And it just came out of this group. This group sustained me in ways that I cannot express, and has taken me to places that I don't think I would have traveled to had not been for you guys. So you guys have as much in this. What is that? Skin in the game? It's the thing. I always confuse it with teeth, but it's skin, which I don't understand why that's a thing, but it is here. So you guys have as much skin in the game as I did. Because it was soon after I came. I don't know if you guys remember, but first I didn't even want to share that here in this group. Remember, I got a lot of support from the team to be able to share that, what was happening because of the shame and everything else. And then I share it, and it just felt like something open when I came here and I share it with you guys the first time. And you guys were there listening and witnessing me in such a beautiful way. And then it just seemed like everything was possible and limitless. So anyway, I think that we have spent so much time with this. I like to set it to the side. I don't want to set it and forget it. I want to set it to the side and see what else is here.
Isabel, we haven't made space for people to respond.
I appreciate so much of your sharing with us, Isabel. I wanted to jump for a minute to just to check in with Rachel to see how she was. I just remember our last group meeting, she had been really upset. And I'm wondering how you are today, Rachel.
Thank you for asking that. I don't want to like pull off from processing, you know, or for people needing to ask and be with Isabel, but I really appreciate it. And Nancy, thank you for also emailing me. But I feel much like softer being here and listening to Isabel and like just seeing the faces here and just like hearing Marvin laughing at the beginning and you know just people waiting for Roberto. Is Roberto coming? Is he late or is he going to be here? He'll be a little late. Like it just, I love that's so nourishing. And that's what I so miss in having like a bustling family life, I guess. So it's very nourishing being here. So thank you. And thank you, Isabel, for sharing this and trusting us and inviting us to just, you know, be with you and be with your people, just to join if we can and if we choose to. It's really, it feels like every group is a support group, unless it's maybe a, you know, a group that's getting together for something else. But even then, it's probably some version of a support group. It's sort of the function of our humanity, that there's something about a group that's very needed and very, very nurturing and necessary.
I love the idea of our joining
Mm.
the group here and there. It just feels like it could be an organic melding
Mhm.
of people in a way that doesn't often happen.
Mhm. Mhm.
Susan, you're muted.
I say the most profound things. Never know. I'm blabbing away, apologizing to Nancy for, interrupting and talking to Isabel. Well, what I was saying, Isabel, was I see you, or tonight, I felt you're a bridge for us, for me. Oh, now I understand your community. I don't feel like, oh, sort of apprehensive. I mean, I know you and you have brought them to us. Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to going.
I'm very grateful, Isabel, and to everybody in the group. Tonight, I'm kind of intuitive, and I just could not come in earlier, even though I knew, like, I accidentally booked a training and I have to leave early. So I just felt tonight was going to be so important that everyone, that it unfolded as it was unfolding. I'm so honored to have been born on John Lewis's birthday, and I just think of E.E. Cummings' line that, I'll carry the hearts of now our fellow group in my heart, and I'll launch a perpetual prayer, as I light my candles tonight. And I've done that for our group too. So thank you. Thank you.
I'm curious, Masumi, if you can relate to Isabel's group, if there's that kind of suffering with the justice system, or do people gather and support each other? I was trying to imagine what it's like in Japan.
Of course, I realize there are cultural differences, and of course, I don't feel like jumping into the Isabel's group right now because of so much emotion is evoked in me. And I don't know if I can find any good expressions that can that my caring and heartwarming, heartfelt feeling in that group, in your group, Isabel. Not just right now, but I am so impressed the way you thought of the idea of having 9 o'clock meeting and your caring attitude, welcoming attitude was shown there, which really prevailed. And that's why people wanted to come in and join that group. I was thinking of the word, any group is a support group. I had started a group chat Zoom meeting with college, my friends from the college time, that is about 60 years ago. One with Japanese friends and the other with American friends. And it turned out that a member is expressing the suffering, physical illness, and losing the, and it began to function as a support group. It's only 4 people or 3 people at a time, and it didn't begin with such a dramatic accident, and to really share some thoughts or feelings about that dramatic accident. But I think I am just trying to digest how important a group can become, not for a person not to feel alone. And I'm learning this from this group too. I think this is so much I can tell now, but I really so appreciate Isabel's courage even to start the group and to think of the sharing of your experience here. I thank you so much. Yeah.
And then I find myself wondering how you took in that experience because you do groups on
Mhm.
climate crisis and gathering people together. And I wondered how it was for you.
Um, it was lovely to hear the mama bear energy. That's cool. Yeah. Um, don't have more to say right now. Happy it's happening.
Sorry to be late. And thanks Rachel to say for saying what you just said. But I did send an email 20 minutes before our group, and then I thought of Jim last week when he said, "Oh, I don't know whether I should say this or not," and then he said, "Here I come on time, and others don't come on time, and what is that all about?" So, and so I but anyway, just that.
Actually, just to say, Yoka, I think, told us right away that you had said you were coming late, but then other people were filtering in, and I just wanted you to know, I think it's so lovely that it's noticed, and it happens for others in the group too. And we knew that you were held up and that you were coming, and no problem, but it was just so lovely to be informed. And then other people were like, "Where's Roberto? I hope he's coming." And I just think and then he's arrived, he's be here in a little bit. But I think that really warms me. And I'd like to know if that ever happened, I'd want someone to tell me. I read somewhere like you should never keep a compliment to yourself. Like if somebody says, "Oh, Roberto has beautiful hair," you should make sure you pass that on. And that was like the one thing I took from that like book of 100 little don't sweat the small stuff. It's all that's what I remember from all of my self-help reading, that to pass on a compliment. So obviously you're all welcome to my library because it's replete with helpful things. So anyway, that's it.
Yeah, thank you.
I wonder how, BJ, you're doing, if you can speak to us or if it's easier for you to just listen.
I'm here and listening, and don't really have anything right now.
Okay.
I'm glad you're here with us, BJ, and yeah, I saw your email, and I was a little concerned, but and happy that you were here with us last week, 2 weeks ago, and today too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Kate. Kate, are you there? Would you like to say something? I think I just noticed. that.
Thank you, Yoka, for asking Kate, because I often will ask Kate something at the end, and I didn't want to be the one to ask Jim or to ask Kate. And and then you did that. I think we're all developing in our facilitating, mode.
Well, I'll ask Jim. Are you there? Are you there, Jim?
I think Jim and Kate may have stepped away.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say I feel very excited about, sharing some little version of focusing with our Isabel family. And it will be fun for me to do that. And it will be really okay if people don't respond to it. It's really fine. It felt like a wonderful invitation for Isabel to invite us to come to the group, because it's an opportunity of seeing seeing real life happening, and support and healing, and it's very unusual, to be invited into a kind of crisis support group.
Yes, I mean, I would usually feel like an outsider, but we're Isabel's shepherding us, kind of. That's how I feel. Feel grateful.
Well, when I went to the group, I didn't feel at all that I felt very welcome.
Uh-huh.
It's sort of like if we see ourselves as a support group that doesn't just support each other as individuals, but supports the life in us as individuals and also as a group. Then there's something also about being invited to be a support to other families. Just by being there.
It's not, Isabel, sorry, did you want to say something?
Oh, I'm just taking this in. I'm bathing in this today because I will go at 9 o'clock and share not what we say, but share about how I share about here, but how I share about us here.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
right. What were you saying, Rachel?
Yeah, just there's something that I'm reminded of, just this quote, and it doesn't quite fit exactly, but just from the Merchant of Venice, when what's her chops, the important one, says that speech, the quality of mercy is not strained. I don't remember exactly, but it blesses twice or something like that. It blesses he who gives it and he who receives it. And I'm sorry to botch that quote, but the quality of mercy is not strained. There's something about the going to or joining a group that's that is in need of support, and there's something about being welcomed in to a group that you wouldn't maybe ordinarily happen into, that feels like a very mutual expression.
It droppeth like a gentle rain from
From
heaven.
heaven, on
Yes,
the earth, beneath or below.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I can try to look up the. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath.
Then what?
And then that's all this small thing. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. And so on.
Well, it's time to stop. The church bell across the street is ringing. I wonder if you have any last words for us, Marvin. I have the feeling that you have a last word for us.
Well, it's a beautiful sharing. Thank you so much, Isabel, and thanks to everyone.
Anybody else have a last word before we?
Just feel honored of being invited, to, and looking forward to participate.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night. So, thank you.
Good
You have an
night.
hour now to rest.
Bye, BJ.